Welcome to another episode of YouTube. It is January the 14th, and today, guys, we're going to be taking a deeper dive into the bear market prices here. That is the strangest looking bear market I've ever seen in my life, but we're going to be taking a closer look at this price action and getting right into it. If that sounds good to you guys, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and with that, let's get it. All right, guys, starting things off here, taking a look at my weekly Bitcoin chart. This is absolutely nuts how much it's exploding. But if you guys have been following along for quite a while now, we have been expecting this price action from basically back in here. So none of this really comes as a surprise. That's the importance of planning ahead, guys, and just being ready to crush it. And this has been such a easy trade range. I know it looks risky to get involved with, but obviously, as you guys know, I like to take profits quickly and update my stop losses to limit my risk and that sort of stuff. But I have mentioned in previous videos before that people were basically shitting their pants over these little wicks that were forming and on the weekly candle. When you zoom out, really, it's just a healthy looking typical candle with a little bit of a wick going back. This current wick, I mean, I think that caught a lot of people off guard, and myself included. It was a little bigger than I thought it was going to go. We even went past the body of that candle previous. But you guys know that my stance has not changed. I have some ridiculously high price targets, and you know that with my time analysis, I'm kind of thinking closer towards the end of November, start of December, where this market cycle may actually top out. And yes, there's going to be these violent pullbacks, guys. This isn't even a red candle at this point. This is still a green candle. Well, now it's a green candle again. But just wait until we actually get a serious pullback, guys, where we start seeing red candles closing. People are going to be real nervous and real quick to call the top of this whole market cycle because, I mean, all it really takes, guys, is a couple 15-minute candles and you see people start to flip their bias very quick and very emotional. So just pay attention to that. If we look at this wick, I mean, from where we bottomed out on this bit of a sell-off, we've already bounced 30%. It's absolutely nuts, the buying pressure that's going on in this market right now. Speaking of enormous buying pressure, here's just a testimony from a business. This is an exchange. I believe they deal with crypto stocks, commodities, and all that sort of stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, they're warning their customers that the surging demand for crypto, I mean, there may be limitations. So not only is it that people aren't selling, but people can't even buy enough. Even the exchanges aren't able to keep up. And I know on Twitter, I think it was back in September or October, I was warning you guys that with what happens eventually, the whole halving cycle with Bitcoin ends up catching up with the price action, and the price goes into a bit of a supply shock. And this is exactly what I was talking about. It has no choice but to kind of drive the price higher. I think when we were back somewhere around 15,000 or 16,000, somewhere in there, someone had commented on my post. I was talking about if we blast through 20K that we might see an incredible bit of a short squeeze, and I honestly don't even know if we've got what I'm talking about yet, guys. What I'm talking about is where nobody's willing to sell, there's not enough supply out there, and just anybody is too scared to short the market. Nobody wants to take profits. Greed gets way too high. That's where the price has no choice but to just absolutely explode, and that's where we'll get some sort of a wild blow off top, in my opinion, where it's that will also catch people off guard in the opposite direction, is where everyone starts, throwing on way too much leverage and that sort of stuff to push the price even higher than what I'm talking about. In my opinion, it is going to get absolutely wild at the end of this market cycle. And I'm not saying that has to be within the next month or two. I'm saying more towards the end of 2021, in my opinion. Of course, guys, none of this is financial advice. Always do your own research, form your own opinions. I'm just telling you my speculative ideas on the market and kind of how I'm looking to trade this market. So make sure you look into things for yourself. Never blame someone else if you pull the trigger on your own trade. You have to know what your risk tolerance is. Use proper bankroll management. But Other than that, I can't really give you too much advice there, guys. If I zoom into my 1 hour chart here, it kind of looks to me like a bit of an ascending triangle here in the green. And if that is to play out from our breakout point, the target is at new all-time highs once again, closer to 43,000, a little below, but let's say even if we drop it a little bit, a retest of around all-time highs 42,000 if that measured move is to play out. So we'll have to see how that plays out. If I zoom in even further to the 15-minute chart, you can see here that we have this little bit of an upward sloping trend line that I'm just kind of watching for fun. If you guys have been watching my previous videos, you know I've been long since down at 32,000. I had called the bottom and a bit of a reversal there. And I took a little bit of profits up here just because around that 40,000, I just went a little bit below that. But yeah, I'm really in no hurry to exit the rest of my position. I have a stop loss at break even, of course, because I'm not willing to lose. I've taken some profits along the way, but I am in no rush to close this position because I don't necessarily think that we are going to have a bit of a reversal. I mean, this ascending triangle, I mean, yeah, it's only a 15-minute chart right here, but it definitely reminds me of the bottom of our previous bear market, the 2018 infamous bear market. To show you what I mean, this ascending triangle in green here, if I hop over to my 4 hour chart, this is where Bitcoin broke down out of that descending 6K level triangle. We bottomed out at 3,100 to end our bear market. We got our ascending triangle as a reversal. I'm sure you can draw it several different ways. That's just how I quickly whipped it up right now. But yeah, you can see what kind of reversal patterns these can be. Absolutely huge. So I mean, if yes, again, this is a small time frame, but if that is a reversal after the bears tried to make Bitcoin dump, and even this bit of a downtrend line here is, to me, it looks like it was broken. And being I have such a bullish bias lately, guys, I am willing to give that a little bit of credit. So I don't necessarily think this trend is ready to reverse to the downside quite yet. I mean, of course, we're going to have to see what happens, but that's just kind of what I'm watching. If I was to, you guys will probably remember that I always used to look for rejection points from with a Fibonacci pull from top to bottom. And actually, that's very interesting that the 618 rejection point that I love so much actually happens to be right on a horizontal line of support that I was watching, just kind of looking at the bottom of this support cluster here and how it carried on as resistance here. And you can see that's just kind of had a lot of influence over time here. So yeah, that's what I was interested in, and yeah, that's actually a line that makes a lot of sense because it's a Fibonacci line that I love to watch. So I mean, if we end up even dropping a little bit yet, let's say getting rejected at this red line, and dumping back down, I wouldn't be all too surprised to start seeing some sort of a support forming on this yellow line as that 618 potential rejection point, flipping into support rather than resistance. Other than that, I suppose one other thing that would be a possibility is if we get above this red line and then start forming even some sort of an ascending triangle up here in the green. That would be a absolutely lovely bullish pattern to see as a continuation. So we'll have to see how that goes too. Anyways, guys, I think that's about all I have to say today. Thanks for tuning in. And one last time, if you could hit that thumbs up and subscribe, share this video if you think it's helpful for anybody. Other than that, guys, I think I'm out. Stay safe, my friends. Peace.